Hey guys, so I wanted to update you. Today was my very first ultrasound and blood work since I started stimming and using the gonal-F injections. I have had 5 injections so far. No, 6. I've had 6 injections so far. Today is Sunday, so they needed to see me today. Originally, they were going to see me tomorrow on Monday, but my estrogen level came back a little higher on my blood work, so they wanted to see me today instead. So we came to Calgary yesterday, and this morning was my ultrasound and blood work, and don't have anything back from the blood work yet, but if there was an issue, they were going to call. But the ultrasound showed that I have 13 follicles on each side, or on each ovary. So that's a pretty good number, almost a little high. So I am still at risk for hyperstimulated ovaries. So we are going to be monitoring that, and hopefully it doesn't happen, because if you get too many follicles and too many eggs retrieved at retrieval, you're at risk for that, and it can be very dangerous. So what happens then is they would cancel our fresh cycle, and we would have to freeze all the embryos and do a frozen. So we're gonna hope that doesn't happen, but we're gonna face that bridge when we get there. So for now, we are just hoping that these follicles continue to develop, and right now they're anywhere from about, the biggest ones are about 0.9 to 1.4 centimeters each. So that means that the biggest were around 14 millimeters, and they need to be 18 to 20 or 22 each before I am given the trigger, or before I do the trigger shot. And 2 days after trigger will be retrieval. So right now, everything's progressing well. I have a lot of follicles, so 26 total. So we're hoping for a good number of eggs out of that, because when you're doing PGD testing, there's so many steps to get through. So when you're doing PGD testing especially, you want to start with a better number of embryos so that you have a better chance of having healthy ones at the end. So that's about it. They don't need to see me tomorrow. I'm staying on the same dose of 150 units of gonal-F for the next 2 days, as well as my Superfact nasal spray, which suppresses your ovulation. So I'm on that 3 times a day. I'm also on baby aspirin still. And tonight is our last night for both Dave and I of our antibiotic. We've had 1 week of antibiotics. They just like to do that so there's no underlying infections or anything like that. So we're getting closer. It's looking like the trigger shot will probably be on Thursday or Friday, possibly. And then retrieval would be 2 days later. So because we're doing PGD and we have to overnight ship the cells from each embryo to the lab in the US that we're working with, in New Jersey actually, we have to be careful. We have 5 days span where we can do the trigger shot so that the biopsy can be done and it can be overnight shipped, because of course they do not do overnight shipping on the weekends. So that puts us on a little tighter of a schedule. We still have 5 days, but if for some reason I wasn't ready, I was ready too early in those 2 days before or 2 days after, we would be in a bit of a bind there with being able to ship the biopsies. So we're hoping that doesn't happen. They know my range of 5 days and they don't think it's going to be an issue. So as of now, things are looking great, and let's hope for a trigger just at the end of the week here and a retrieval on the weekend. And let's hope for lots of nice mature eggs that fertilize and end up being healthy. So that's my update, and I will probably update you again on Tuesday. So like I said, tomorrow there's no appointment. On Tuesday I'll have my next one to see how the follicles are growing, if they're continuing to grow. As of right now, the only thing I'm really noticing is I'm definitely more bloated, and I'm having some pain on my right side. Each follicle grows about 2 millimeters every day. So when you have 26 of them that are between 1 to 1.5 centimeters each, and then they're growing by 2 millimeters each a day, I mean, you can see how your stomach would get kind of bigger and bloated, and how it would probably be a little uncomfortable. So right now I'm mostly just feeling heaviness and a little bit of pain, but nothing too crazy. So I'm sure each day it's just going to get a little bit worse as they continue to grow. They told me no more exercise, so I'm a little sad about that because I wanted to do quarter force, but it looks like I'm going to have a few weeks of no exercise or very little exercise. I asked about yoga and they said no yoga even because the twisting twisting is probably the worst thing you can do because of the twisting motion, and your ovaries are so large, especially with the amount of follicles that I have, that your ovaries can actually twist and it can be very dangerous and it can really hurt the process. So what do? I have to follow their instructions. So we have lots of walking paths around here. So this little girl is probably going to get to go for a lot of walks over the next few weeks since I can't be doing my regular workouts, but I'm sure she will not be complaining. You'll notice my beautiful flowers here. I just got them when we got groceries. They are so nice. I just thought that they'd keep me positive and keep me happy over the next few weeks of this process. So thanks so much for checking in, and I will keep you updated and post another video in a few days. Bye, guys.